And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Gene K. Freeman Aquatic Center and day 3 of the Minnesota Invite. We are ready to begin the festivities right off the bat with the women's 100-yard butterfly. We have 5 heats of trials, and we will qualify swimmers into A, B, and C finals tonight. Do remember that the meet is being live streamed on the YouTube Gene K. Freeman Aquatic Center channel. So if you go to YouTube and search Gene K. Freeman Aquatic Center, you will see all kinds of options pop up for the Minnesota Invite 2024 Day 3 Prelims. Ready now for Event 15, the women's 100-yard butterfly. Heat 1. Swimming in lane 1 for Harvard, Kylie Wilhelm. In lane 2 for Harvard, Ro Dudevois. In lane 3 for Denver, Megan Lucician. In lane 4 for Denver, Mary O'Neill. Lane 5 for Minnesota, Mira Keller. In lane 6 for Denver, Zoe Lynch. And in lane 7, swimming for Rutgers, Allie Allen. And Mary O'Neill of Denver. Nice time drop, a 56.2. 56.4 for Kylie Wilhelm of Harvard, who came in without a seat time and has one now. Heat 2. In lane 1 for Denver, Ali Bay. Lane 2 for UNLV is Dominika Trenkiewicz. Lane 3 for Harvard, Blythe Wyklowek. Lane 4 for Rutgers, Vika Krostima. Lane 5 for Harvard, Mandy Brenner. Lane 6 for Rutgers, Blanca Berek. Lane 7 for Denver is Mia Molden. And in lane 8 for Harvard, Kristen Akonadaughter. And Mandy Brenner, a nice drop to a 53.9. Heat 3. In lane 1 for Cal, Jordan Ash. In lane 2 for Minnesota, Faith Johnson. In lane 3 for California, Ariel Brotman. Lane 4 for Rutgers is Martina Pisco. Lane 5 for Cal, Morgan Brophy. Lane 6 for Harvard, Sydney Liu. And lane 7, swimming for Rutgers, Cam Kruger. This is the first of our 3 circle-seeded heats. And Cal's Morgan Brophy with a nice 52.86 as she gets her B cut. B cut in this event, 53.34. Heat 4. In lane 1, swimming for Harvard is Isabella Alas. Lane 2, Rutgers Ellie Shinsky. Lane 3 for California, Mia West. In lane 4, number 2 seed, and Mia's teammate Lizzie Cook. In lane 5 for Minnesota, Morgan Thomas. Lane 6 for Cal, Ava Chavez. Lane 7 for Minnesota, Ava Yablonsky. And in lane 8 for Rutgers, Hale All. And Lizzie Cook at a 52.69, Morgan Thomas 53.3, and the Gophers' Ava Yablonsky 53.6. Now Heat 5. In lane 1 for Cal, Mia Croft. Lane 2, her teammate McKenna Stone. Lane 4 is our top seed, Cal senior Lilu Russencourt. In lane 5, sophomore from Minnesota, Claire Reinke. Lane 6 for Cal, Isabel Stadden. Lane 7 for Minnesota, Rachel Conley. And lane 8 for Harvard, Kenzie Padilla. Isabel Stadden leading at the 50 with Claire Reinke of the Gophers and Lilu Russencourt of the Bears right there. And Isabel, 52.11, and she gets a B cut just in case. Lilu at 52.2, a nice 52.82 for Claire Reinke, her best time of the year. And now it's the men's turn, event 16, the men's 100-yard butterfly. Heat 1. No seed times in this heat, so everybody's a surprise here. Lane 2 for Minnesota, senior captain Kaiser Neverman. In lane 3 for Harvard, Anthony Rincon. Lane 4 for Harvard, Oliver Pilkington. Lane 5 for Minnesota, Omar Abdelwahab. And lane 6 for Harvard, Adriano Ariati. Oliver Pilkington and Kaiser Neverman out quick. Kaiser is the Gopher school record holder in the 200 IM. He held the two-fly school record until this fall. And there's a nice 47.28 for Kaiser. Heat 2. In lane 1, Mason Brune of Denver. Lane 2, Nicola Tadic of Denver. Lane 3, Danny Pinheiro of Denver. In lane 4 for UNLV, Tatsuki Inoue. Lane 5 for Harvard, Mert Idavul. Lane 7 for Harvard, Evan Crawley. And in lane 8 for Denver, Frank Tyrone. And first to the wall, Nicola Tadic of Denver, 48.96. As we now move on to our circle-seated heats. Heat 3. In the first of our circle-seated heats, lane 1 is Brandon Chapman of Denver. Lane 2, Hamish McClellan of Denver. Lane 3, Emil Jose Alvilla of UNLV. Lane 5, Wikus Potgeier, UNLV. Lane 6, David Schmidt of Harvard. Lane 7, Ian Steffen of Minnesota. And lane 8, Michael McGillivray of California. And Harvard's David Schmidt pops to the top of the leaderboard with a 46.62. Let's go. Heat 4. In lane 1 from Minnesota, Connor Groya. In lane 2 for Minnesota, Matt McDonald. Lane 3 for Cal, Luca Bertolini. In lane 4, number 2 seed, school record holder from Minnesota, Davide Hadabashiu. Lane 5 from Harvard, Sonny Wang. Lane 6 from Cal, Frank Applebaum. Lane 7 from Harvard, Ayush Deshpande. And lane 8 from Harvard, Ben Littlejohn. And a whole mess of 47s. Ayush Deshpande, 47-2. Heat 5. In lane 2, Tommy McCarthy of Minnesota. Lane 3, Samuel Quarles of California. Lane 4 from Minnesota, Jacob Johnson. Lane 5 from Cal, August Vetch. And in lane 8 from Minnesota, Joe Rudd. And out fast, 21:05, Jacob Johnson of Minnesota. Time to beat 46:62, and there is a 45:21. Just a shade off of the school record at Minnesota, and that will jump to the top of the leaderboard. Here are the qualifiers. For event 15, the women's 100 butterfly. Our second alternate is Kristen Hakanerdottir. First alternate, Martina Pisco. Qualifying into the C final. In 24th, Vika Kostromina. 23rd, Isabella Alas. 22nd, Ali Bey. 21st, Dominika Trenkiewicz. 20th, Kenzie Padilla. 19th, Blaise Weklowek. 18th, Faith Johnson. 17, Rachel Conley. Into the B final in 16th, Cam Kruger. 15, Ellie Shinsky. 14, Jordan Ash. 13, Mandy Brenner. 12, Sydney Liu. 11th, Mia West. 10th, Ava Yablonsky. And 9, Ariel Brotman. Into the A final tonight, qualifying 8th, McKenna Stone. 7, Morgan Thomas. 6, Mia Krag. 5th, Morgan Brophy. 4th, Claire Reinke. 3rd, Lizzie Cook. 2nd, Lilu Westencourt. And our top qualifier with a time of 52.11 from the University of California, Isabel Stadden. Official meet time is 10:16. This event will close at 10:46. And coaches, you are reminded to scratch all the way down. Ready now for event 17, the women's 400-yard individual medley. Heat 1. In lane 1, from Harvard, Yulia Yana Viakaba. Lane 2 from UNLV, Ava Olson. In lane 3 from Denver, Devin Burnett. Lane 4 from Denver, Sabrina Rakaiban. Lane 5, Sabrina's teammate, Mina Ada Soliker. And in lane 6, one more from Denver, Kiki Lindsay. And lane 7, yet another from Denver, Genevieve Franklin. And lane 8 from Rutgers, Ava Jerkowitz. Here are the qualifiers for the men's 100 butterfly. Second alternate, Evan Crowley. First alternate, Tatsuki Inoue. Qualifying into the C final in 24th, Nikola Tadic. 23rd, Michael McGillivray. Late 22nd, Wikus Potker. 21st, Joe Rudd. 20th, Ian Steffen. 19, Brandon Chapman. 18, Connor Groya. And 17, Matt McDonald. Qualifying into the B final. In 16, Tommy McCarthy. 15, Luca Battaglini. 14, Adriano Ariati. 13, Oliver Pilkington. 12, Davide Harabagiu. 11th, Hamish McClellan. 10th, Emil Jose Avila. 9th, Anthony Rincon. And into the A final tonight. In 8th, Sonny Wang. 7th, Frank Applebaum. 6th, Kaiser Neverman. 5th, Ayush Deshpande. 4th, August Vetch. 3rd, David Schmidt. 2nd, Samuel Quarles. And our top qualifier with a time of 45.21. From the University of Minnesota, Jacob Johnson. Meet time is 10:21. This event will close at 10:51. And there's a nice 4:18.5 for Denver's Mina Ada. Heat 2. Swimming in lane 1 for Denver is Peyton Maloney. In lane 2 for Rutgers, Catherine Lang. Lane 3 for Rutgers, Shannon Medway. And yet another Scarlet Knight in lane 4, Molly Urquille. In lane 5 for Harvard, Stephanie Iannicani. Lane 6 for Minnesota, Grace Drabot. Lane 7 for Denver, Lily Zippel. And lane 8 for Minnesota, Elliott Kennedy. This is the first of our circle-seeded heats. The B cut NCAA provisional time is 4:16.78. Molly Urquille in lane 4 of Harvard already has her B cut. She snuck in with a 4:16.73. At the 200, it is Shannon Medway in lane 3, and the two Gophers, Elliott Kennedy and Grace Drabot. Look for Grace to get her breaststroke going here. Elliott Kennedy, of course, an NCAA veteran in the distance freestyle. So she's going to have a good back half. Molly Urquille of Rutgers going to have a good breaststroke split, 34.5. Next fastest is Stephanie Yanakani and Grace Draybot. And Molly Urquille in the freestyle first. Grace Draybot, a terrific breaststroke leg. Grace looking pretty strong in the freestyle, as she and Molly both look to punch their ticket to the somewhere in the middle lanes of the A final. And Molly with a 4:13.79, about a 3-second drop for her. Grace Draybot with a nice 4:15.6. That's a 6-second drop for Grace. Heat 3. Swimming in lane 1 for UNLV is Grace Wharton. Lane 2 for Minnesota, Katie McCarthy. Lane 3 for Harvard, Gabby Augustine. In lane 4 for Cal, Catherine Hazel. Catherine, our number 1 seed. In lane 5 for Harvard, Alexandra Baston. Lane 6 for Harvard, Peyton Foster. And in lane 7, also for the Crimson, Grace Yoon. In lane 8 for Minnesota, Peyton Ross. At the 200, it's Catherine and Kazel. Catherine and Katie. Katie McCarthy and Catherine Hazel. And Catherine moving out. Expect a strong freestyle leg from Katie McCarthy. Katie, an NCAA veteran in the distance freestyle. And Catherine very much in control of this. And it's going to be between Katie and Alexandra. For second in the heat. Pretty wide open leaderboard right now. And Catherine with the 4.11. Nice drop for Alexandra. 4.14 and Katie with a 4.15. Nice 7.5 second time drop for Katie McCarthy. And now we move on to event 18, the men's 400-yard individual medley. Heat 1. Swimming in lane 1 for UNLV is Ian Bellflower. Lane 2, UNLV's Colby Raffle. And one more Rebel, Kyle Adamson. Lane 4 for Minnesota, Owen Van Wee. In lane 5 for Denver, Ian O'Neill. Lane 6 for Minnesota, Jaden Heinlein. Lane 7 for Denver is Connor Hughes. And in lane 8 for Minnesota, Joe Poyak. Colby Raffle first at the fly. Here are the qualifiers in the women's 400-yard individual medley. Qualifying into the C final in 23rd, Ava Yurkowitz. In lane 2, Catherine Lang. In 21st, Grace Yoon. 20th, Genevieve Franklin. 19th, Kiki Lindsay. 18th, Devin Burnett. 17, Lily Zippel. 16, Gabby Augustine. This is now into the B final. 15, Peyton Foster. 14, Peyton Mulrooney. 13, Peyton Ross. 12th, Peyton Ava Olson. 11th, Peyton Sabrina Rakaiban. 10th, Elliott Kennedy, and 9th, Grace Wharton. And into the A final, Shannon Medway, Mina Ada Soliker in 7th, Sixth, Stephanie Iannikani. Fifth, Grace Drabot. Fourth, Katie McCarthy. Third, Alexandra Bestone. Second, Molly Urquille. And first, Catherine Hazel. Official time is 10:35. This event will close at 11:05. And Colby Raffle still hanging on to the lead. Nice breaststroke split. The B cut, a 349.53. Colby looking at about a 51. Within striking distance of the cut tonight, maybe. And better than we expected, 350.45. That's only 9/10 away from the NCAA B cut. Nice debut 400 IM for Gopher Joe Poyak. 353.9. Heat 2. Serving in lane 1 for Minnesota, Jack Ballard. In lane 2 for Minnesota, Alberto Hernandez Garcia. In lane 3 from Denver, Marco Nosek. Lane 4 from Cal, Tyler Kopp. In lane 5 from Cal, Carter Lancaster. In lane 6 from Harvard, Eric Lee. In lane 7 from Minnesota, Ryan Slonak. And in lane 8 from UNLV, Michael Breitbart. And pulling ahead slightly, halfway through the breaststroke, is Carter Lancaster of Cal. Fastest breaststroke split on the board, though, belongs to UNLV's Michael Breitbart in lane 8. Michael came in seated with a high 4:05. And that seed time is going to go sayonara. Yeah, it looks like Carter Lancaster is going to pull ahead, 3:49.49. That will slip to the top of the leaderboard. Tyler Kopp in second, and Michael Breitbart right behind. Carter, Tyler, and Michael, your top three right now. We'll take a very short pause. Heat 3. Swimming in lane 1 for Harvard, Jonathan Nowinski. In 2 for Harvard, Richard Poplawski. Lane 3 for Denver, Nico Morton. In lane 5 for Cal, Humberto Nayera. Lane 5 for Minnesota, Joey Tepper. Lane 6 for Denver, Noah Laird. In lane 7 for Harvard, Dylan Ree. And in lane 8 for Denver, Sam Baker. Go back to Linda if you've got a minute. Thank you. Joey Tepper looking very good halfway through. Umberto of Cal. Nice breaststroke split. Makes up a second and a half on Joey. Joey is going to have a good freestyle leg if he can get through the breaststroke. That B cut, 3:49.53. And here comes Joey. A lot of distance to make up, but he's going to get close. And they are going to lead our group into the A final. And Umberto hangs on, 3:46.8. A B cut, Joey Tepper, 3:47.61. Also a B cut, and they will be our top two qualifiers into the A final tonight. Our next event is the women's 200-yard freestyle. Heat 1. In lane 1 from Rutgers, Isabella Val. In lane 2 for Denver, Angie Wyand. In lane 3 for Harvard, Yulia Yana Viakawa. In lane 4 for Denver, Tessa Lindstrom. Lane 5 for Cal, Femke Hoppenbauer. Lane 7 for Rutgers, Marissa Lisansky. And in lane 8 for Rutgers, Jade Smits. Here are the qualifiers into the men's 400 IM. Into the C final. 24, Connor Hughes. 23, Owen Van Wee. 22nd, Ian Bellflower. 21st, Jack Ballard. 20th, Jaden Heinlein. 19, Sam Baker. 18, Jonathan Nowinski. And 17th, Ian O'Neill. Into the B final in 16, Noah Laird. 15, Ryan Slonek. 14, Richard Poplowski. 13, Marco Nosak. 12th, Eric Lee. 11, Dylan Ree. 10, Joe Poyak. And 9, Kyle Adamson. Into the A final tonight in 8th, Nico Morton. 7th, Alberto Garcia Hernandez. 6th, Kobe Raffel. 5th, Michael Breitbart. 4th, Tyler Kopp. 2nd, Carter Lancaster. Third is Carter Lancaster. 2nd, Joey Tepper. And our top qualifier with a time of 3:46.84 from Cal, Umberto Nariera. Official time is 10:49. This event will close at 11:19. And Jade Smits of Rutgers has got herself a seed time. 1:51.68. Heat 2. In lane 1 for Cal, Maggie Petty. Lane 2 for Harvard, Robin Cruz Abrams. Lane 3 for Denver, Paige Riley. In lane 4 for Harvard, Kristen O'Connor-Daughter. Lane 5 for Denver, Nika Spihar. Lane 6 for Denver, Daniela Alfaro Saldana. Lane 7 for Denver, Maria Del Monte. And lane 8 for Rutgers, Orion Gablan. Yeah, we got some serious outside smoke here in lane 1. Maggie Petty out of the 53.5. Maggie's seed time over 2 minutes. And Maggie hangs on, drops 9 seconds to a 151.1. Heat 3. Swimming in lane 1 for Minnesota, Livy Wanner. In lane 3 for Rutgers, Gillian Swift. In lane 5 for Rutgers, Jillian Ruffner. In lane 6 from UNLV, Pilar Cohen. Lane 7 from Denver is Taneo Winter. And lane 8 from Rutgers, Ella Arbiter. And we have some serious speed also going on over here in lane 1 from the University of Minnesota. Livy Wanner, their outstanding first-year sprinter, is showing some speed. .51.8 at the 100. That's all right. I'll just keep an eye out for empty lanes and scratch them out as we get them. Not worried. And Livy looking really good here through 150 on her way to about a 147 or a low 148. And a perfect finish at 148.17 for Livy. Six and a half second drop. Nice time. Heat 4. This is the first of our 3 circle-seated heats. Swimming in lane 1 for Rutgers, Megan Fox. Lane 2 for Harvard, Molly Hamlin. In lane 3 for Minnesota, Hannah Cornish. In lane 4, the number 3 seed with a B cut already from Minnesota, Anya Kalievich. Lane 6 from UNLV, Bridget Sullivan. Lane 7 from Denver, Callie Metuzels. And in lane 8 from Rutgers, Brooke Thompson. Hannah Cornish of the Gophers with a good start, 52-1. I'm sorry, 51-7. It's 52-1, belongs to her teammate Anya Kalievich. And Anya and Hannah working together to lift each other here to a good last 50. Get this one home. And Anya, 147.5. Hannah slips in for second, a 148.5. And now heat 5. Swimming in lane 2 from Cal is Maya Geringer. In lane 3 from Denver, Inez Marina Alessandre. Lane 4 for California, Eva Chavez. Lane 5 for Cal is Mia West. In lane 6 for Minnesota, Jade Roger. Lane 7 for Harvard, Kaylee McDonald. And in lane 8 for Rutgers, Ella Hall. Eva Chavez leading at the 150. Inez Alessandre for Denver. I snug to the lane line to see if she can pick up a little draft. Psychological draft, if nothing else. And a 146.3 for Ava. Inez second, 147.9. Heat 6. Swimming in lane 1 for Harvard, Kenzie Padilla. Lane 2 for Cal, Ella Mazurek. Lane 3 for UNLV is Erica Carlson. Lane 4 is our top qualifier. She made an A cut last night in the IM from Cal, Leah Polanski. In lane 5, number 4 seed from Minnesota, Mina Kalievik. In lane 6, from Harvard, Alexandra Baston. In lane 7 for Denver, Izzy Burton. And lane 8 for Rutgers, Grace Weaver. Both Mina and Leah look like they're under control. The bubble for the A final is going to be very tight. Leah will be in. Mina will be in. .146.08 for Leah. Mina and Erica very close. 147, 1-2, and 1-5. Next up, the event number 20, the men's 200-yard freestyle. He won. And winning the attrition sweepstakes in lane 1, lane 5 is Harvard's Felipe Bafico, and lane 6, Denver's Luke Milburn. No seed time for these gentlemen. So Christmas is going to come early in Heat 1. And a nice 138.59 for Felipe. Heat 2. In lane 1, Shane Washard, Harvard. Lane 2, Joe Hancock of Denver. Lane 3, Mattia Pentek of Denver. Lane 4, Will Melsha of Denver. Lane 5, Andrew Hallett of Cal. Lane 6, Max O'Neill, Denver. Lane 7, Marit Gatner of Harvard. And lane 8, Philippe Lagny of Harvard. Here are the qualifiers in the women's 200. Second alternate, Daniela Alfaro Sandana. First alternate, Brooke Thompson. Into the C final, in 24th, Pilar Cohen. Tied for 22nd, Tanaya Winter and Kristen Huckernadottir. 21st, Jade Smith. 20th, Kenzie Padilla. 19, Maya Geringer. 18, Maggie Penny. 17, Izzy Burton. Into the B final, 16, Ella Mazurek. 15, Bridget Sullivan. 14, Kaylee McDonald. 13, Callie Matuzels. 12, Jade Rogier. 11, Maya West. 10, Molly Hamlin. And 9, Hannah Cornish. Qualifying into the A final in 8th, Lenny Wanner. 7, Alexandra Baston. 6th, Inez Marine Alexandre. 5, Anya Kaljevic. 4th, Erica Carlson. 3rd, Mina Kaljevic. 2nd, Ava Chavez. And our top qualifier at 1:46.08 from Cal, Leah Polanski. Official time is 11:07. This event will close at 11:37. Heat 3. In lane 1 is Denver's Kieran Watson. Lane 2 from Harvard, Anders Eisters. Lane 3 from Cal, Trent Franson. In 4 from Cal, Keaton Jones. In lane 5 from UNLV, Ambrose Barsak. Lane 6, Nicholas Antonio. Lane 7, Ben Littlejohn of Harvard. Lane 8, Finn Holdridge of Denver. We are now into the circle seeds. B cut 135.35. The A cut is a pretty hot 131.21. And Trent Franson, a 35.57. Heat 4. In lane 1, Luke Brennan. Lane 2, Jaden Edmondson. Both of Minnesota. Lane 3 from Harvard is David Greeley. Lane 4 from Cal, Nance Mazelier. Lane 5 from Cal, Thaxton McMullen. Lane 6 from Minnesota, Tyler Hansen. In lane 7 from Denver, Dylan Meese. And in lane 8 from Denver, Brandon Saidi. Coaches, coaches, coaches. Last call for morning time trials. Last call for morning session time trials. Thank you. Nance and Thaxton dragging each other to a fast one here. No, not just yet. I think I'm current. And a pair of 133 for Nance as Thaxton put it on cruise, but he's in at 135.1. Should comfortably make its way into the middle of the pool for the A final. Heat 5. In lane 1 for Minnesota, Lovros Siderovic. Lane 2 for Harvard, Harris Durham. In lane 3 for UNLV, Cooper Keel. In lane 4, top seed from Cal, Gabriel Jett. In lane 5 from Minnesota, the school record holder, Bar Solovicek. Lane 6 from Cal, Matthew Chai. Lane 7 from Harvard, Tristan Dalby. And in lane 8 for Denver, Tommy Hancock. Gabriel Jett, 46.60. After that, lots of 47s. Tristan Dalby of Harvard, a pretty salty 47 flat. Harris Durham of Harvard also with a nice looking second half. And Gabriel on cruise control, 135.89. Second to the wall, Bar Solovicek of Minnesota, 136.81. Our next event is the women's 100-yard breaststroke. Heat 1. In lane 3 from Rutgers, Allie Allen. In lane 4 from Cal, better late than never, Melanie Julia. And lane 5 from Rutgers, Ava Jerkiewicz. And a 104 for Milani. Now heat 2. In lane 1, Sophia Remington of Denver. Lane 2, Alexandra Denisenko of Harvard. Lane 3, Jessica Maeda, Denver. Lane 4, Abigail Hersku of Cal. Lane 5, Molly Urquille of Rutgers. Lane 6, Gabby Augustine of Harvard. And lane 7, Zoe Lynch of Denver. Here are the qualifiers for the men's 200. We have a tie for alternates, first and second, between Kieran Watson and Tommy Hancock. Swim-off may be required. Qualifying into the C final. In 24th, Lovro Sardetovic. 23, Matija Pantic. 22, Tyler Hansen. 21, Luke Brennan. 20, Felipe Bafico. 19, Dylan Meese. 18, Jaden Edmondson. And 17, Anders Asters. To be continued. Heat 3. In lane 1, Holland Spangler, Rutgers. Lane 2, Kira Mullins, Minnesota. Lane 3, Ava Goodnow of Minnesota. Lane 4, Leah Polanski of Cal. Lane 5, Margot McDonald of California. And lane 7, Peyton Muldowney of Denver. Continuing with the qualifiers, the women's 200 freestyle into the B final tonight. 16, Cooper Keel, tied for 14th, Shane Washart and Mara Gottnar. 13, Matthew Chai. 12, Tristan Dalby. 11, Harris Durham. 10, Ben Littlejohn. And 9, Ambris Bartzak. Into the A final. In 8th, Bar Solovicek. 7, David Greeley. 6, Keaton Jones. Tied for 4th, Nicolas Antoniou and Gabriel Jett. 3rd, Trent Franson. 2nd, Thaxton McMullen. And our top qualifier with a B-cut time of 1:33.82 from Cal, Nance Mazelier. Time is 11:19. This event will close at 11:49. Heat 4. In lane 1 for Harvard, Grace Yoon. Lane 2 for Harvard, Stephanie Yanakani. In lane 3 from Rutgers, Sophia Bartoloni. In lane 4 for Cal, Alicia Henry. Lane 5 from Cal, Ariel Brotman. Lane 6 from UNLV, Heather Gardner. Lane 7 for Minnesota, Ava Gustafson. Lane 8 from Cal, Sydney Griskevich. And a nice 60.15 for Alicia. That's just about her best this year. And now we move on to the men. 100 breaststroke. He won. In lane 2, Sam Baker. Lane 3, Sam is from Denver. Lane 3 from Minnesota, Max Schreier. In lane 4 from Denver, Luca Ford. Lane 5 from Harvard, Quinn Herron. Lane 6 from Denver, Joseph Purdy. And lane 7 from Cal, Matthew Jensen. And scratch Matthew in 7. And Max in 54.79. Big drop for Max, tremendous swim. We have a disqualification in heat 1. Lane 4, false start. Heat 2. In lane 1 for Denver, Marco Nosak. Lane 2 for UNLV, Nate Thomason. In lane 3 for Minnesota, Joe Poyak. In lane 4 for Minnesota, Joe Rudd. Lane 5 from Cal, Jacob Soderlund. In lane 7 for Cal, Roman Jones. And in lane 8 for Denver, Nico Morton. $52.5 for Jacob, $53.08 for Joe Rudd. That's Joe's best time of the year. To the 100th. Heat 3. In lane 1 for Harvard is Dylan Ree. The lane 2 for Minnesota, Josh Johnston. In lane 3 for Cal, Zachary Tan. In lane 4 for UNLV, Nicholas Nikusan. In lane 6 for Harvard, Joshua Chen. Lane 7 for Cal, Carter Lancaster. And lane 8 for Harvard, Zach Bartell. And UNLV's Daniel Nakusan, 52.23. And that will find a place in the middle of the heat in the A final. Heat 4. Swimming in lane 1 for Minnesota, Drew Kalin. In lane 2 for California, Colby Hatton. In lane 3 for UNLV, Danny Beiji. In lane 4 for Cal, Yamato Okadomi. In lane 5 for Cal, Hank Rivers. Lane 6 for Cal, Luca Gissendanner. Lane 7 for Minnesota, Ludwig Kalowick. And in lane 8 from UNLV, Yamato Lucero. And a 51.99 for Yamato Hokodame. Here are the qualifiers in the women's 100 breaststroke. Into the C final, in 24th, Allie Allen. 23rd, Grace Yoon. 22nd, Ava Jurkovic. 21st, Holland Spangler. 20th, Sydney Griskavage. 19th, Melanie Julia. 18, Kira Mullins. 17, Zoe Lynch. Into the B final, in 16th, Peyton Muldowney. 15th, Sophia Remington. 14th, Stephanie Yanakani. 13th, Gabby Augustine. 12th, Sophia Bartoli. 11th, Ava Gustafson. 10th, Ava Goodnow. And 9th, Jessica Maeda. Into the A final tonight in 8th, Ariel Brotman. 7th, Alexandra Denisenko. 6th, Heather Gardner. 5th, Molly Urquille. 4th, Abigail Hersku. 3rd, Leah Polanski. 2nd, Alicia Henry. And in top qualifier with a time of 59.95 from Cal, Margot McDonald. We have a disqualification in Heat 4 of the men's 100-yard breaststroke. Lane 2 is disqualified. Our next event, the women's 100-yard backstroke. Heat 1. In lane 4, from Denver, Maria Del Monte. Lane 6, from Cal, Daniela Cogswell. yeah. Just like about 3 minutes ago. Heat 2. Swimming in lane 1, Kylie Wilhelm. In lane 2 is Izzy Burton. Lane 4, Catherine Lang. Lane 5, let's back up. Kylie is for Harvard, Izzy for Denver. Lane 4, Catherine is from Rutgers. And lane 5 from Minnesota, Brigitte Neverman. In lane 6 from Denver, Haley Chesno. Lane 7 from Denver, Darian Kohler. And lane 8 from Harvard, Yulia Yana Viakaba. And a pair of 30-56 threes for Haley and Darian from Denver. Heat 3. In lane 1 from Rutgers, Grace Hagemaster. Lane 2 from Harvard, Anya Mostek. Lane 3 from Minnesota, Indy Jungerman. In lane 4 from Minnesota, Paula Rodriguez Rivero. In lane 5 from Rutgers, Martina Pisco. Lane 6 from Minnesota, Faith Johnson. Lane 7 from Denver, Allie Bay. And lane 8 from Minnesota, Mira Keller. And Paula, 53-58. Her best time of the year by a little bit. Heat 4. In lane 1 from Harvard, Blythe Wyklowek. Lane 2 from Rutgers, Natalie Schick. In lane 3 from UNLV, Dominika Trunkiewicz. Lane 4 from Minnesota, Ava Yablonsky. Lane 5 from Cal, Adriana Smith. Lane 6 from Harvard, Molly Hamlin. And lane 8 from Minnesota, Paige Maureen. At the 75 and leading by a whisker, Ava Yablonsky, our number 2 seed. She's got her beak cut already. Looking to punch her ticket to the A final tonight. And there it is, season's best, 52-68. Nice half-second drop for Ava. Heat 5. In lane 1 from Denver, Lily Zippel. Lane 2 from Minnesota, Elise Jacobs. Lane 3 from Cal, Mary Embry Molla. Lane 4 from California, our top qualifier, Isabel Stadden, our top seed rather. And lane 5 from Cal, Jessica Davis. Lane 6 from Cal, Finley Anderson. In lane 7 from ULV, Helena Monrichard. And in lane 8 from Minnesota, Cami Perriot. And Mary Embry Molla really uncorks one, 50.34, and that's an A cut for Mary Embry. Congratulations. Isabel Stadden in second, 52.40. Here are the qualifiers for the men's 100-yard breaststroke. Our alternate is Sam Baker. Qualifying into the C final. 24, Joseph Purdy. 23, Luke Mikhailovic. 22, Nate Thomason. 21, Drew Kalin. 20, Nico Morton. 19, Yamato Lucero. 18, Quinn Herron. 17, Josh Johnston. Into the B final, 16, Marco Nosek. 15, Zach Bartel. 14, Dylan Ree. 13, Max Shire. 12, Roman Jones. 11, Joshua Chen. 10, Joe Poyak. 9, Carter Lancaster. And into the A final tonight, in 8th, Zachary Tan. 7, Joe Rudd. 6, Danny Beji. 5th, Jacob Soderlund. 4, Luca Gissendanner. 3rd, Daniel Nikusan. 2nd, Hank Rivers. And our top qualifier with a time of 51.99 from Cal, Yamato Akadame. Official meet time is 11:39. This event will close at 12:09. Next up, the men's 100-yard backstroke. Heat 1. Swimming in lane 2, Adriano Ariati of Harvard. Lane 3 is teammate Mara Gatnar. Lane 4 from Cal, Destin Lasco. Lane 5 from Harvard, Eric Lee. And lane 6 from Harvard, David Schmidt. I am national champion Destin Lasco. Sneaking into this event undercover here with no seed time. And he will set the bar with a 45.99. That is a B cut. The B cut's a 47.16. A cut 44.48. Ready now for Heat 2. In lane 1, Max Roslin of Denver. Lane 2, Nicola Hench of Harvard. Lane 3, Mason Brune of Denver. Lane 5, Ross Noble of Harvard. Lane 6, Jaden Heinlein of Minnesota. In lane 7, Noah Laird of Denver. And lane 8, Evan Crowley of Harvard. Here are the qualifiers in the women's 100 back. Second alternate, Brigitta Neverman. First alternate, Izzy Burton. Into the C final, 24, Elise Jacobs. 23, Martina Pisco. 22, Blythe Weikelweck. 21, Paige Maureen. 20, Haley Chesno. 19 is Karian Kohler. 18, Natalie Schick. 17, Mira Keller. B finalists, 16, Indy Youngman. 15, Ali Bay. 14, Daniela Cogswell. 13, Cami Perriott. 12, Helena Monrichard. 11, Molly Hamlin. 10, Jessica Davis. And 9, Finley Anderson. A finalists, 8th, Faith Johnson. 7, Anya Mostek. 6th, Paula Rodriguez Rivero. 5th, Adriana Smith. 4th, Dominika Trenkevich. 3rd, Ava Yablonsky. 2nd, Isabel Stadden. And our top qualifier with an A cut of 50.34 from Cal, Mary Ambre Mala. Official meet time is 11:43. And this event will close at 12:13. Heat 3. Go Tommy, go Luke, go Davide. In lane 1 from Minnesota, Tommy McCarthy. In lane 2 from Minnesota, Luke Leonidas. Lane 3 for Harvard, Anthony Rincon. Lane 4 from Minnesota, Davide Hadabagiu. Lane 6 from Cal, Tommy Roeder. Lane 7 from Denver, Dylan Wright. And lane 8 from Denver, Liam Simmons. Anthony Rincon of Harvard on fire. He's having a good meet. And Anthony Rincon by a whisker over Tommy Roeder. Heat 4.
Let's go, boys! Go, Bears! Here we go, Bears! Come on, boys!
In lane 1, Keaton Jones of California. Lane 2, Matt McDonald of Minnesota. Lane 3 from Cal, Edward Huang. In lane 4 for Cal, Ziad Salim. Lane 5 from Cal, Bjorn Seeliger. Lane 6 from Minnesota, Ian Steffen. Lane 7 from Harvard, Ayush Deshpande. And in lane 8, a very salty first 50 for Luca Battaglini. And Luca Battaglini, 46.80. Heat 5. Our final heat of backstroke in lane 1, McKay Mickelson of UNLV. In lane 2, his teammate Tatsuki Inoue. Lane 3 for Minnesota, Casey Stowe. Lane 4 for California, Kai Cruz. In lane 5 from UNLV, Wilkes Potgieter. In lane 6 for Cal, Evan Petty. Lane 7 for Harvard, Oliver Pilkington. And lane 8 for Denver, Quinn Collins. And 46.03 for Kai. Teammate Evan Petty, 46.05. And those times will find their way into the A final tonight. And swimmers, we have one time trial of 50 freestyle. So we're going to take a break of about a minute to get our sprinter up there. He'll be coming down from Denver. If you're familiar with that fiddle tune, coming down from Denver. Covered beautifully by the late Peter Ostrushko. As Luke gets ready, here are the qualifiers for event 24, the men's 100 backstroke. Second alternate is Liam Simmons. First alternate, Matt McDonald. Into the C final. 24, Quinn Collins. 23, Tommy McCarthy. 22, Evan Crowley. 21st, Ayush Deshpande. 20th, Davide Harabajiu. 19, Dylan Wright. 18, Keaton Jones. 17, Ian Steffen. Into the B final. In 16, Murray Gatnar. 15, Oliver Pilkington. 14, Adriano Ariati. 13, Wilkes Potgieter. Lane in 12th, Tatsuki Inoue. 11th, David Schmidt. 10th, Edward Huang. 9th, Casey Stowe. Into the A final. In 8th, Bjorn Seeliger. 7th, Ziad Salim. 6th, Luca Battaglini. 5th, Tommy Roeder. 4th, Anthony Rincon. 3rd, Evan Petty. 2nd, Kai Cruz. And our top qualifier out of Heat 1 with a time of 45.99 from California, Destin Lasco. It is now 11:51, and this event will close at 12:21. We have one-time trial, 50-yard freestyle. Lane 4 is Luke Milburn of Denver. He won. The NCAA B cut in this event, 1969. .65 for Luke. And that concludes our morning session.